Hello, my fellow ink drinkers. Today I am talking about The Stepney Green Killer by E.C. Hanson. Hi everyone, welcome to Dark Violet Dreams. If you are new here, I am a huge fan of indie horror and thriller books, and I expand as well. I like pretty much anything that's dark fiction, and I recently started a book club called the Indie Ink Drinkers Book Club, and together in September we read The Stepney Green Killer by E.C. Hanson. So I am recording this at the beginning of the month because I have already finished this book, but this is going out at the end of September to end the month, and we will dive into our next read after this. I am going to share the best that I can without spoiling. So basically, this follows three people. It follows a serial killer. It follows Dolores, a retired woman who is a little bit bored, I'd say. And so when these killings, these murders start happening, she kind of keeps a close eye on it, starts sniffing around, trying to figure out who this killer might be. It also follows a high school student named Benji who needs to complete a senior project in order to graduate high school. So he is also kind of digging into the Stepney Green Killer. He wants to know who this is, kind of figure out the motivation behind these killings, and offer up a solid presentation to earn himself his diploma. This was a fast-paced read. I am not a fast reader. I am quite slow, actually, and easily distracted. We have 8 people in this house, so there's always something to distract me. And even I, finished this in 2 days. So today is September 3rd, as of this recording, and I finished it yesterday. There are a few other people that have finished it as well. And so that just goes to show you that the 200-something pages, it was like 206 pages, go very quickly. So anything I share here is my opinion and mine only. I don't want to speak for anyone else in the book club because I know we'll all have varying opinions. Now, the way I review books is pretty surface level because I don't want to spoil things, but also because my ratings are based off of vibes and overall feelings and kind of just what I felt overall rather than nitpicky things. There are certain things that will cause me to take away a star and whatnot, but overall I am not nitpicky when it comes to rating. So take anything I say with a grain of salt, of course, but that goes for anyone, whether they're super detailed or not. We all have different tastes, different life experiences, different beliefs and things like that. So really, honestly, these are my feelings and mine only. E.C. Hanson has a wonderful way of drawing me into the story. I am hooked almost immediately every time I dive into an E.C. Hanson book. That was the case here as well. The rest of the world just kind of turns gray and I'm zoning in on the story. And I love that about him because it is hard to capture my attention that way. He is not overly poetic, or he doesn't use a ton of flowery language or things like that that can really slow down a person's reading. He is pretty straightforward, but in a very beautiful way. I really enjoy his style of writing. So when you start the story, you're kind of diving in into the happenings and it's really exciting from the get-go. Yes, there is a build-up and then there's a big bang at the end, and holy crap. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, believe me. But I really enjoy that he gets to the point. Sometimes I love those longer stories, like I am currently reading Native Fear by C.F. Page, and there's a slow burn, and I love that too. But I also love when you can just experience the story and boom, 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 you know, it just happens, you know? So I have a fondness for both extremes. So this was a lot of fun. When I got to the middle, there was a certain kind of subject, I guess I could say, that I usually honestly don't enjoy in my reading, because it's something that kind of takes me out of this imaginary world and plops me back into the real world, and in kind of a stressful way for me. So I was a little bit worried when I started reading this bit. And then it was over before I knew it. So it was like, okay. It was just a little blip and then it was over. It's fine. I'm fine. So it really did not take away, but it did have me a little bit on edge in a very real way. So throughout the story, I had my opinions on who the killer could be. It changed kind of back and forth a few times before I settled on someone. And, you know, I feel like E.C. Hanson was kind of pointing you in different directions and really leading you to discover these answers. And when I got to the end, I was pretty blown away. There were certain things that I saw coming, but some of this was like, oh my gosh. I'm really struggling here to get my point across because I don't want to spoil things for you, but it was a banger of an ending, that's for sure. So there are a few trigger warnings in this book. I will not share them with you right now. I think I did share a little clip where you could kind of see them in the beginning of this video, so you can go back to that or just ask me if there's anything that you're concerned about. I like to keep people in the dark unless they want to see the light. So if you need to know about any certain triggers or you'd like the list of trigger warnings, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd be happy to discuss those with you privately. Keep in mind, this is a book about a serial killer. So anything that you could imagine that would come with serial killer stories is probably in here. So if there's anything that could be possibly triggering to you or upsetting to you, know that it is probably in there. So that is it. That's my little spiel about the Stepney Green Killer. I hope everyone who joined in on this month's book club pick had an enjoyable time. And even if you didn't, I hope you return for the next one. Join me whenever you see a book that suits your fancy. I'm really laid back. Take as much or as little time as you'd like to read. Again, October's pick is Pearlized by B.K. Sweeting. Please join us if you'd like to. I'm super excited about this. It's another thriller, so that's exciting. And it takes place in October. At least part of the book does, from what I've read on the back cover. So I will be sure to link my announcement video for you to check out if you are interested in learning more about Pearlized. That's it from me. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you had fun listening to me ramble about this book. I don't know how much fun it is to listen to me ramble, but regardless, I hope you're having an amazing day or night. Remember, these are my opinions and mine only. Everyone has their own opinions, and I'm really excited to find out what they are. We haven't discussed it as of this recording, so I am looking forward to seeing what everyone thought of this book. Until next time, happy reading and cheers. Yes, I'm drinking Gatorade. Bye.